everybody, welcome to math. Today what you're going to need is your student workbook, which is the big one, a pencil or something to write with in the book, your math notebook, which was the journal that we started using, I think it was 2 weeks ago now, and a positive attitude. Your math notebook looked like this, and we had done it on 9/29. We did the make the sum, or we did it on 9/28 too. All right, pause the video to go get those materials. So we have been practicing adding and subtracting one-digit numbers. We are going to go further now, and we are going to learn some strategies for adding two-digit numbers. So our learning target is I can add two-digit numbers, and you'll know you're successful when you get most of the problems on the practice page correct. So we're going to start by watching this video, which you're already doing. Then you're going to have a practice page, and you're going to be able to check your answers again. And then last but not least, we'll have a quick exit ticket. So go ahead and get out your math notebook. So let's get started. We're going to start today by doing a count around, but we have to modify it for online. So in the classroom, a count around will be one person. I'll say a number, and then we're going to add 10 to it. So if I say 5, the next person is going to say 15, and then the person after that's going to say 25, and the person after that's going to say 35. Well, since we can't do that, since we're not having a live lesson, we are going to use our math notebooks. If you can't find your math notebook, you can just use a piece of paper. Prefer if you had it in your notebook though, so that you can go back and look at it, because we'll be doing this activity throughout the year. So we're going to open up to the next blank page. Remember we talked about how we don't just flip to the middle of it, because then it's hard to find things. So our first page was like this. Then we have 928, 929, and we are at our next blank page. If you've been using it for other stuff, you might have more pages written in there, and that's fine. We're going to go ahead and put the date at the top, and today is going to be 10. I gotta double check, because remember, I'm not making this video the same day. 10/15, 20. So pause the video if you need more time for that. Then we're going to go ahead and add a title, and it's going to be called adding. So adding, ADDING, to digit is DIGIT, numbers, and we'll just use that symbol for numbers. Remember, this is the symbol for numbers. It looks like a hashtag symbol, but it actually means number in our math book right now, at least. So we're adding two-digit numbers. Some of you guys might be thinking, well, I can already do that, and that's great. We're just going to go over some strategies that you might find helpful. If they don't find them helpful, at least these lessons will be really easy for you. Okay, you might need to pause the video to finish writing that, and then push play when you're ready to go. So we're going to be writing down one round of that count on, and we are going to be starting now we're going to keep this in mind as we do some warm-up problems. So you're going to go ahead and put 8 down, and I accidentally made a oopsie there, so I'm just going to put oops. So we're starting with 8. What's 10? You need to be writing this down too. What's 10 more than 8? 18. Okay? What's 10 more than 18? Right, so write down 28. So you should have 3 numbers written down. If you are noticing the pattern, great. What's going to be the next one? So it goes 8, 18, 28, then it's going to be 38. Then 48. Now what I want you to do is I'm going to stop going through one by one, and I want you to finish this pattern until you get to 108. So pause the video, and I want you to continue adding 10 until you get to 108. Go ahead and go. Pause. All right, welcome back. So you should have something that looks like this: 58, 68, 78, 88, 98, and then we got to 108. What do you guys notice? Anything? Maybe you notice that the tens place is going up by 1 every time. Maybe you notice that the ones place is always the same. Maybe you notice other things that I don't know, because I can't see you right now. In your notebooks, I want you to see if you can find out the answer to 10 plus 15. So you're going to write down 10 plus 15, and I want you to solve it. If you don't need to show any work, don't show any work. If you need to write down work, write down work. Pause the video while you solve it. Great, so 10 plus 15. If I have 10, not let me drag it, and then I add 15 more, what is my answer going to be? It's going to be 25. Did you get that? What if I added 10 more? What's the answer going to be? 35. Great. Let's try another one. So we're going to do the same thing. In your notebook, I want you to write down this equation. 24 plus 10 equals what? And I want you to see if you can solve it. Pause the video while you do it. Hi, did you get 34? Great. I wish I could see all the different strategies that you're using to get there. All right, one more practice problem. 32 plus 10. 32 plus 10. Pause the video while you solve it. Did you get 42? Great. How is this going for you? Great. So this whole lesson they had to modify a little bit. We were supposed to spend our first lesson going around the classroom measuring things and getting and putting all that stuff together, but obviously we can't do that, so we're going to use their measurements. So what do you think or see in your brain when you look at this problem? So look at this problem. What do you think or see? Pause the video while you think about it. I noticed a pencil and eraser. I noticed the pencil is a little bit longer than the eraser. When I read the problem, it says, when lined up end to end, so that's like when they're right next to each other, so like this would be end to end, how long are the pencil and the whiteboard eraser all together? So it's asking us to find out how much they are, or how long they are all together. So it means we're going to be adding the two lengths together. So in your math notebook, I want you to write down this problem. 19 plus 15, and I want you to solve it. Pause the video while you do that. Okay, you're back. Normally what we would do next is have students share out how they solve the problem, but since I can't do that, we are going to hear some strategies from some students named Kevin, Morgan, and Marissa. So on for each person's strategy, we're going to look at how they solve the problem, think about the student's strategy. Maybe it was the same as yours. And this last question, I just want you to think about it. I wouldn't put too much effort into this last one because we weren't able to use the rulers. So it says, think about this question. How does the measuring tool, which would be this ruler or meter stick, whatever it is, help us to understand the different strategies? Like I said, really focus on the first two. Look at how they solve the problem and think about the student's strategy. Maybe you'll learn a strategy that will really work for you. So here is Morgan's work. I want you to pause the video and just look at what you notice about Morgan's work. How did she solve the problem? I really want you, when I ask you to pause the video, to actually stop and pause the video and look at it and see what you notice. So what I noticed is that she broke both numbers down into tens and ones. So she took 19 and she broke it down into a 10 and a 9. She took 15 and she broke it down into a 10 and a 5. Then she added up the tens to get 20. She added up 9 plus 5 to get 14. And then it looks like she used a number line to figure out that the answer was 34. Did anyone else solve it the same way as Morgan? So let's hear her thoughts on it.
Morgan said, I added the 10 from the 19 and the 10 from the 15. That's 20. Then 9 and 5 are 14. So 20 and 14 are 34.
So maybe you solved it the same way. Okay, let's take a look at Marissa's work. Pause the video and take a look at what she did here. There's some interesting things going on here. I have some wonderings that she hops up one there. Looks like she might have started at 19 and then maybe added up 15? Or maybe she tried to get to a friendly number. Let's see what she had to say.
Marissa said, I added 10 to 19. That's 29. Then there's 5 left, so I added 1 more and got 30. And 30 and 4 is 34.
Maybe you guys did it the same way. Okay, so we have one more person's work to look at here. Let's see how Kevin solved it. Pause the video while you do that. I kind of noticed that it looks like he took like a little hop here. So he tried to get to 20 right away. And then he added the 10 and the 4 in. Let's see what he had to say.
Kevin said, I added 1 to 19 to get 20. Then 20 and 10 is 30. 4 more is 34.
Maybe you solved it the same way. So now what I want you to do is look at your work in your notebook. How is your work the same and different than the work that you just saw from the other kiddos? Just want you to think about that. Pause the video and think about that for maybe 30 seconds. Did you get to the same answers? So now what you're going to do is you are going to practice this a little bit in your math workbook. So you're going to need your student workbook. Oh, mine's stuck down on the floor. And you are going to be opening to page, dun dun dun, 17. So you're opening your student workbook and you're opening up to page 17. We've already done number 1, so you should already have this answer in your notebook. All you have to do is write it down here. When you're doing these, make sure that if it's a length, you want to try and include, you don't want to try to, you want to make sure you include the measurement, cm. So for the first one, your answer would look like this. 19 plus 15 is, made another oops, 34 centimeters. Okay? What you are going to do today is you are going to answer questions 2 and 3. These ones are super similar to the one that we just did up here. When you're done, I have posted the answers so that you can check your work. If you need help, please leave me a private comment before doing the exit ticket so that I can help you before doing the exit ticket. Then you'll have a 1-question exit ticket to do, and you will be all set with math today. Great job, everyone.